Motivated by 95-year-old former President Jimmy Carter, more than 1,500 volunteers deal with everything from rain and mud to sun and heat to help transform slabs of concrete into homes.
You can decide to reach out and help other people, or be stingy and take care only of yourself.
The Jimmy and Rosalind Carter Work Project highlights Nashville's true spirit, focused on making a real difference in the lives of the deserving families who will call these houses home.
They didn't know me yesterday, and they're here building my house, our house, for our family. I don't even think I have words for it.
For the next hour, we'll take you through the amazing progress, share intimate conversations with both the former president and big country names, and celebrate a week of hard work. This is Working for Your Community, the Habitat for Humanity build in Nashville.
We're going to be taking you back to the week of the build and introducing you to a few of our favorite homeowners. We're practically going to be going door to door, introducing you to all these people, telling you their stories. And our first stop was quite the story to tell.
Don't think for a minute.
Hard at work.
So have we finished this room?
Brenda Wilson tells people just how important it is to wipe the slate clean. Allow yourself a new beginning. That's something she had to learn.
I'm an addict in recovery. I suffered with addiction for many years.
Brenda's new beginning came when she found a place across the city from here. Thistle Farms gives jobs to women who have lived through human trafficking, domestic violence, addiction. Brenda works here in the shop, selling beautiful things, using her story to help others.
Its purpose is to love, heal, and empower broken women like myself.
This day is part of Brenda's new beginning.
This is my new home.
The Jimmy and Rosalind Carter Work Project through Habitat for Humanity is bringing Brenda a place all her own.
It blows my mind. This is the most spectacular thing that's happened to me. I feel like my mom would be so very proud of me right now. She saw me in my addiction, and she used to just tell me all the time how she had faith in me and how she believed that I could be a better person. She would be so excited and so happy for me.
And to someone out there who's living with drug addiction, Brenda wants that person to know you can start again with a clean slate.
Being an addict wasn't a death sentence. We do recover. This is obtainable for all of us. Invest in yourself. That's a very important thing.
It was 1984 in New York City when President Jimmy Carter and First Lady Rosalind picked up a hammer for Habitat for Humanity and haven't looked back. You model every day that you can lead with your heart and your head. Would that accurately describe your days in the White House, or how have you changed since then?
Well, I use my head a lot more then, I guess, than I did my heart, but I use them both. Sometimes I had to use my heart, like when I was negotiating between two enemies. Quite often you have to have your heart set to accommodate both of them. Mm-hmm. But it was a very challenging job and one that I enjoyed very much.
From Charlotte to eastern Kentucky, Mexico to the Philippines, the Carters quickly became the face of the international organization, helping working men and women around the world own a home of their own. How did faith inform your presidency? How did you navigate that in your time?
Well, I prayed for 3 or 4 times every time I was on the way to the Oval Office, and gave thanks on the way back to the White House. But faith was a very important part of my life then. I prayed that I would do the right thing, for the American people, that I would be honest and true, I never told a lie when I was in the White House. And I encourage my helpers to do the same thing.
If you would think about this for just a moment, in the last 5 years, can you think of a new habit or behavior that has improved your life?
Well, pretty much in the last 5 years, I've taken up painting. And
You and President Bush.
And I give painting a painting to the Carter Center every year. I auction off, and they bring a fantastic price.
Most volunteers come through corporations like these who sponsor a build day. But for the Jimmy Carter Work Project, there's a special opportunity for about 100 volunteers who actually pay to participate. News 4's Terry Bulger has the story.
You donate all this time, a week out of your schedule, you pay money, why do you do it?
And it's not a little bit of money.
I paid $1,700 to be here.
You heard him right.
For 6 days.
Rob Collette pays money to work here for free, and he's happy. Humming and nailing all day long.
Do. Oh yeah.
Brings flamingos from his Florida home to make it fun. Raised Florida's state flag 16 years ago at his first habitat build and encouraged others to do the same. They have.
I got you cutting, that's good.
He's a neurodiagnostic technician. That means he diagnoses brain disease in his real life.
Don't bend a nail.
And wouldn't miss this.
I can't explain it why I do it, why I pay and come out here for a week, Terry, I just can't. I mean, it's a feeling. You can't explain feelings. It's a wonderful feeling, I'll tell you that though.
Of course, Jimmy Carter is here as a volunteer. Same goes for Andy Youngbluth.
Coming through, Trevor.
He drove 600 miles from Wisconsin, brought his checkbook to put homes together in the mud.
We all pay to volunteer to help build homes for deserving families.
It's all unbelievable. Kindness and progress, talk and action.
I have these talents, and there's people out there that need homes, and everybody needs a hand up, so why not give?
From a wet and muddy Monday to a hot and sunny Friday, there was one group who made sure the volunteer spirits stayed as bright as their t-shirts. While volunteers hammer, nail, and put on roofs in the hot Nashville sun, there's a group of people working to make sure everyone's spirits stay as bright as their shirts.
So this week we're responsible for picking up the garbage around the site and making sure that the water and the ice, Gatorade, everybody stays hydrated, and really any other tasks that they need us to do.
The hospitality crew at the Jimmy and Rosalind Carter Work Project is comprised of board members from the various affiliates of Habitat for Humanity. We're talking top executives from big business and even a judge experiencing a very different kind of work week.
You know, it's pretty orderly. I have dockets every day. I go in and hold courts. But when we're going about the site, it's whatever needs done. That's what we do. You know, there's no set schedule other than be here early.
The group focuses on making sure volunteers have everything they need to have a safe and happy build day because they believe in what Habitat for Humanity provides.
The idea that we can come out and help them build their house, get in an affordable, safe housing, that's the draw for it.
And they know even those serving deserve a little service as well.
Everybody needs to stay focused on the tasks that they've got in front of them, use their skill sets on site, and somebody's got to do these jobs to keep them going and keep them hydrated and snacks provided, so we're excited and happy to be here to do that.
Our own Joe Dubin shows us how professional athletes made time on their day off to give back.
This is something different for us, and but it's awesome to be here. It's such a great cause, so we're glad to be here and help out.
Nashville Predators captain Roman Josi makes his living swinging a stick, but he gladly put that down to pick up a hammer to help build a house.
We just got here like an hour ago in the afternoon, so I mean, there's been so much done already, and just to see all the people helping, all the volunteers, it's pretty unbelievable. It's a real cool thing. We're assisting, definitely. I mean, we're taking orders from the boss, and he's telling us what to do, and we try to execute it.
And the captain brought the newest Predator along with him, Matt Duchesne, who is used to making assists now on and off the ice, even if sometimes they are not perfect.
You know what? I haven't swung a hammer too much. I've done a lot back, like a little bit back home, more with like a drill and stuff like that. So I'm a little bit more handy that way. I was hoping that's what I would be doing, but you gotta get the nails in these things. So yeah, I bent the first nail. It was a bit of embarrassing. It was on the wrong side of the thing for somebody who's right-handed, but getting the hang of it a little more as we go here.
I'm just enjoying it, meeting new people out here. Everybody's been pretty nice though.
And then on another day, the Titans rookies showed up to serve lunch to all the volunteers. But the guys say they were the ones who were honored to help out.
Yeah, that's why I say it's just an honor to be here. You know, some people, you know, ain't fortunate in life, but, you know, like I said, just giving back in my community, you know, Nashville now, you know, it's a great feeling. So.
Oh yeah, it's a good feeling. They do it back home in Georgia, so I got to be a part of the one back in Georgia. So it was good just seeing other people trying to help out.
Man, it really gave me goosebumps, to be honest with you. To be able to walk off the bus and everyone clapping, cheering, stuff like that. It's really so real. It's a cool moment for sure.
You know, just the time I've spent in Nashville, the support that this city and the community has for us, you know, it's important. It's vital that we, you know, turn that back around, and we show our appreciation for their support in what we do, and you know, in any way that we can help this community or help this city, we should.
The couple that builds their house together stays together. At least that's what the Riddles believe.
We got to drive the first nails in, so like we were the first ones to use any tools on the site, which was great.
It was a high learning curve, but it was a lot of fun.
She's so hot. It's great. I love watching my wife work.
The newlyweds blended their families together 7 months ago, including 3 children, ages 11, 4, and 2. And while they're full of smiles now, their journey has not been an easy one.
In 2016, my life was completely shattered when my first husband passed away unexpectedly. A week later, 2 days after the funeral, I found out that I was pregnant with our son.
As Erica struggled to raise her 2 children alone, Neil also struggled to provide a stable home for his child.
After that, I just had friends who just let me stay with them as long as they could let me.
With your son?
With my son.
Now, life as a married couple does offer more stability, but not a place to call home. That is, until they earned a 0% mortgage on this home through Habitat for Humanity.
Having this house is so important for my kids to just be able to grow up in a place that's theirs, that they know is safe and that they know isn't going anywhere.
So this is our house.
The pair showed me around with pride, even though much of the home still only exists in their minds.
Yeah, have you decorated it yet? Have you
we have some graph paper we've drawn out. We've a couch over here, TV in the corner.
As they dream of how to make this house a home, they also dream of paying it forward.
Generous, and just having the lowered cost of living, like we'll be able to take care of other people who are going through stuff.
It's no surprise between President Carter's love of music and the project being held here in Music City, music played a strong role throughout. News 4's Terry Bulger takes a closer look and listen.
Garth Brooks and his wife Trisha Yearwood started the week with song, the Mother Church's Spirit kicking off a spiritual week in Nashville. A week that, of course, ended in song, too. You'd sense that for 5 days, Habitat mixed with harmony and never missed a beat. The sounds you hear all day on a work site are not music to the ears, but loud and jarring leads to progress. Still, Habitat leaders knew Nashville could do better.
As much as he loves me, someday soon, going with him someday soon.
Every day, the lunch menu included music. Hard Hat Workers and Susie Bogus one day.
So give old Tennessee credit for music, 'cause they play it up in Nashville.
Nashville every day.
Chuck Mead without his grassy No Boys, the next. A Music City thank you to the volunteers.
That's one. Thank you, guys.
Everybody was wonderful and seemed to be happy to have somebody come out and entertain. So for me, it's like I'm amazed that all these people get together and do this community thing.
He's the rootin'est, tootin'est cowboy in the wild, wild west.
The work site felt like a 1930s home build when the nation moved west. So Riders in the Sky with their Western cowboy sound fit right in. A thankful crowd of the most positive, willing to give people you'll ever meet. Made sense that songwriter Don Schlitz would thank them with his Randy Travis hit.
When Jimmy Carter took the Ryman stage on opening night, you felt the power his presence was already making in Music City.
March, march on.
The Fisk Jubilee Singers, Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood, kicking off a musical thread to be woven throughout the week. Day one on the build site begins with a devotion from the 95-year-old former president himself, with 12 stitches and a black eye after falling 2 days earlier.
You can decide to reach out and help other people, or be stingy and take care only of yourself, right?
Also making Monday headlines, rain in a desperately dry Nashville. It makes for a sloppy start for the hundreds of volunteers helping build 21 homes from the slab up. Famous faces flock to Park Preserve neighborhood all throughout the day.
Yeah, I bent the first nail. It was a bit of embarrassing. It was on the wrong side of the thing for somebody who's right-handed, but getting the hang of it a little more as we go here.
Day two, drier and determined to add porch beams and blue board. The Titans spark some extra energy. Volunteers say nothing adds more meaning, though, than getting to know the people, soon to call these houses home.
Blows my mind. This is the most spectacular thing that's happened to me.
There's people out there that need homes, and everybody needs a hand up, so why not give?
We would like to offer to, if you guys can find that, whatever that number is to put in the budget, that we would like to, as a couple, match that up to a certain number.
Day three begins with breaking news. Garth and Trisha tell legislatures touring the build site they'll match whatever money they earmark for Habitat. Are you ready to take the torch, pick up the torch from them when they're ready to pass it along?
No one will be able to carry that torch.
We also sit down with the namesake himself. We talk the White House, what he still hopes to accomplish, and, of course, what do you think? We're here in Music City. I've got video of you singing, or at least chanting, with Dizzy Gillespie, Willie Nelson over the years. What music are you listening to these days?
Well, recently we've been infatuated with country music.
As the next days dawn, the neighborhood fills out.
Met up with a gambler.
We sing along
You've got friends.
and remember the many musicians and marching bands serenading volunteers who've come to the Carter Work Project, putting faith in action on this magical week in Music City.
This is my new home.
This is where we last saw Brenda Wilson, smiling and taking ownership of her new home before it was even finished. Her life, like her new home, has a fresh coat of paint. Wilson battled addiction, but has been clean for 6 years after going through the residential program at Thistle Farms. And she'll take that fresh life into her fresh home.
And may this house be like a candle. May it be a light that reminds women there's always a way home.
Today, she officially got the keys and the responsibility of a 0% mortgage for this home, thanks to Habitat for Humanity.
I'm overwhelmed. I'm delighted. I'm just so excited. I'm so full. I just can't put a word on it.
Like all Habitat homeowners, Brenda had to put in hours of sweat equity, helping build her home from the ground up.
There's memorable moments where I can look at the cabinets and envision my daughter working, putting them in. I can look at my walls and see my boss man rolling a roller.
Brenda says she hopes her own story will inspire others.
It's a process worth investing in because you're investing in yourself.